So, for all of you who have come to my channel and watched these Blovid videos, I wanted to thank you. Um, I don't know how much I have to share, but I was thinking something that a relative of mine asked me yesterday. She said, "So, is it real?" And I said, at this point, I don't think it matters. And we had a long explanation, a long conversation, and so I thought I'd just share a tiny bit of that with you guys here. The graphs, I'm not going to read every line of the graphs. That's so boring. You can look at it while I'm talking to you. But the point is, for me, at least at this phase in our experience, whether it's real or not, is honestly, we're not going to figure it out. For one, there's clues. So, like more flu deaths last year than current things going on, that's a clue. But what's important to me, or what seems more important to me now, is where the crowd's going. Is, if I hate to say it, but if you think back to your childhood and you're in a classroom or you're with a bunch of your friends and you're trying to make a decision of what you're going to do, we kind of always go with the majority. So, and yes, this country set up a republic and all the politics and blah blah blah, but 90 some odd percent of the time we follow the majority, and this is what the majority is saying. Specifically in reference to social distancing practices, you can see it's a Gallup panel poll, March 13th. Not that many people seem to be concerned, at least not the majority. Come up here, March 27th. Avoid small gatherings. 83% of the people. So only 17% of the population thinks, I don't care. Avoiding public places. 78% of the people. So 22 out of 100 will go to a public place. The rest of them will avoid it if possible. And I think that's a real telling statistic. Oh, sorry, wrong way. That was an accident. Percentage of who have avoided public places during coronavirus. The only thing that you could break down all the gender nonsense that they do. But if you look at the direction we're headed from March 13th to March 27th week, it's up and up and up and up in staggering numbers. So, U.S. adults who have avoided public places, 78%. Me personally, I've only avoided the public places that are closed because I don't have a physical fear or a spiritual fear about this thing that's going on. So what that leads me to is whatever this is, it's going to happen. And it's going to happen because of the numbers. Not necessarily that the hidden hand or the controlling rulers of society have that much power. They understand how limited their power is based on the number of people on this planet. They can't kill us all. They know it. They can't take us over. They can't come knock on our door and take our guns. There's just not enough of them. And this is pure hardcore common sense numbers, I think. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. But when you can get the majority of a group to go a certain direction, that's all you have to do. There's wildlife fences over the highways here in Colorado at certain spots, and they fence everything off, and then they make one little path where the herd of deer or the herd of elk can easily walk up the hill, walk over the road, walk back down the hill, and not get hit by a car. So the fences aren't so tall that the deer or elk couldn't jump it. I actually have seen a deer from a standstill leap about a 7-foot rock wall. It was the most amazing thing I ever saw. He just standing there, walks up to it, no running start, just spring, and he's up on top of there. So they can jump these fences, but they don't because there's a easier access. And we all flow the easiest access. Water does it, nature does it. We accidentally do it sometimes. The last graph before I have one more thing to share. American likelihood of complying with public health recommendations to shelter at home for a month. March 13th, 41% said they'd very likely, 16% said unlikely. March 27th, 64% very likely they'll shelter in place, 9% very unlikely. the thing that's interesting to me is the very likely keeps getting bigger and bigger. The somewhat likely has a little bit of a variation. Maybe 20% have looked at it and said, compared to when it was 29. Somewhat unlikely is shrinking, which is what they want. And the very unlikely is kind of interesting. It kind of bounced. So anyway, I guess that's it for the statistics. But the other part of that is when we go back to what the controllers do to us or whatever, it's all nonsense. They don't do anything to us. We do it to ourselves. In 2007, when they invented the smartphone, nobody had to buy one. Nobody had to have one. There's no mandatory nonsense. And in the past 13 years, we have continued to walk over that road through the easy path. We haven't jumped the fence. We haven't dodged the cars to go our own way. We've gone with the herd. So as it unfolds, I have no blame for anybody. I understand how it works. I may be that one elk that jumps over the fence and gets crushed by the semi, but personally, I wasn't put in this body to live the way everybody else lives. I was given the tools of discernment, of rationality, a little bit of brain power to make the best decision I think I can for myself in each moment. And, it's got me here over 50 years, so I'm going to keep going with it. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate your comments and your time today. Have a great day.